Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my podcast again. Hashtag RAV, R-A-V. And if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe in the button. It's on the right side below this video. And just click subscribe if you don't want to miss an episode, because every week we're going to be posting, recording. Sometimes they're live, sometimes they're not. Depends on the panel. The guest that I have today, I've known her since she was 14. God, I'm so old. When I didn't have wrinkles, you see all. And I had hair, believe it or not. I've known her through Wayne. Remember Wayne, one of the oldest dancer, performer, teacher in our scene in the Bay Area. And we'll talk more about this gentleman who passed away many years ago later. My guess is Helen Vazquez. She won many awards. First place, World Latin Dance Cup, Amateur on one. First place, 2012 US Salsa Open, Champion, Semi-Pro. I think I was judging that. Second place, 2012 Las Vegas Salsa Congress, Amateur. Third place, 2013 San Francisco Salsa Congress, Semi-Pro, amongst other competition. In fact, as I remember, her and JC competed in London in UK. I remember those were fun days, wasn't it? I was also judging that one, but let's welcome Helen. Helen!
Thank you.
What is up?
Hi. What is up? Oh.
You know, you've grown a lot since I've known you. I remember the time when you used to perform with Wayne. I think you were 14. I think I met you when you were 14. Do you remember how we met? It's just Wayne, right?
Yeah, it was through Wayne. He was the one who started bringing me to the festivals and, of course, to all the socials and Allegros. Allegros was one of my favorite spots in Emeryville. And so he would take me social dancing and performing. And, of course, we met and then eventually started performing at your festival in July, the San Francisco Rodchata Festival, which is our hometown festival. And yeah, Wayne was the reason. It's almost been 10 years. My birthday's coming up in May. It's going to be 10 years since my quinceañera, so.
You know, one thing I really adored and admired about Wayne when he was alive, and of course, you know, I remember all the performances you guys had and the performances of his several partners. You know, I didn't know that Wayne was sick all along. You know, he had that he had cancer all along, but yet you would never notice until in his last days in the hospital, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. And one thing that I admire about him is this guy, he will always post on social media. It's like, this cancer is not going to stop me from dancing. Even in the hospital, you would see him dancing. And on his last days, in fact, he messaged me, and I think this is what I shared in the funeral. He messaged me as like, Rod, don't forget, put me on the slot for performance. And here I am thinking, it's like, Wayne, you're in the hospital. And he was really looking forward to it. And sadly, of course, he passed away. And there were a lot of mourners there, including me. And that one thing I would never forget about him is his passion for dancing, and that his sickness did not stop him from dancing, even to the point of dying, you know.
Sorry.
And I know that broke your heart, that moment. I remember you posted on Facebook, you know, my heart is broken and everything. And, you know, I still remember when I coached you one time with you and JC, and I was sitting in that chair. And then you guys said, oh my God, we remember Wayne is sitting on that chair, that very chair. What are your good memories about Wayne? I'm sorry to bring this up, but he was so special to me, to be honest, as a promoter, you know?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I know, it's fine. I miss him dearly. I mean, it just hits so close to home because he's the reason that I'm here. He's the reason that I dance. And the thing that always sticks to me is that he used to tell me, you know, do what you love and love what you do. And that's so important for me to remind myself every day, especially nowadays, that it's been really hard as dancers, as instructors, as directors, to keep people motivated and remind them why it is that we're dancing. We're not dancing. I'm not dancing because of the money. I'm not dancing because of the, the show and everything. I'm dancing because it's my passion. It comes from the heart. It's something that makes me so happy. It's able to express, how I feel, because I'm not very good with words. So my body tells it all. I'm not a good singer either. So
Wait. You being a Gemini, not very good with words? Come on now.
Yeah. So, dance is everything to me. And, Wayne is the reason that, that I started it. And I actually started back when PB&G was the thing with Ricardo Sanchez and Michelle Castro.
I remember,
and,
yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, Wayne was the reason that, we started dancing in that team. And I just loved being part of a community. I mean, back in the day was so different than now. It was so close, and it felt like you had that extended family, and it was a complete different world that I just love to indulge myself in. And as a 14-15-year-old being surrounded by adults, it helped me grow up so fast. It helped me be mature. It helped me be responsible. I was able to travel. When I was in high school, I was traveling and competing at world congresses and competitions, and it was just like such a beautiful thing for me to help grow up and become a young lady and a professional dancer, and somebody who hopefully is inspiring the next generation as well.
Absolutely.
To use dance as a positive thing to, I don't know, to keep going, especially like I said, in these days, like people are so depressed, and dance has just been amazing. Like I still see people trying to teach online classes, and I know it's not the best format, and I know not a lot of people like it, but it's better than nothing. It's better than just being cooped up in home and not moving your body, not doing anything, just being a couch potato.
It's true. And when Wayne went to the other side, you became independent. You had several partners. You had, I wouldn't say partners, I would say collaborators, who are pretty much in the same batch, because as I've known you guys, this includes Junior and Emily, this includes Andrew Cervantes, this includes JC and others, which is pretty much the same batch from the Bay Area. Meaning, when I say Bay Area, I'm talking about Sacramento, San Jose, San Francisco. The moment, what I know for a fact, when I became a student, and then when I became independent from my teachers to being independent, is how much you grow fast, how much you apply the principles that your mentors and your teachers taught you, being independent, and apply that. And I've seen you grow fast, your techniques, my God, your spins and all of that. And, when I see you perform, like dramatically every year, it's like, this girl has grown, even the attitude on the stage, you're like this, I mean, what did you do? I mean, what did you do to grow so fast like that?
Ooh, I feel like I absorb things. I'm a visual learner, so I would actually go social dance, and I would sit and watch the pros, and I would just kind of, of course I would take their workshops as well, but like I would just sit and watch them and be like, okay, like that's how they're doing that, and I would try to mimic it. And of course I'd have to like go to some real instructors and be like, am I doing this right or whatever, but I would just learn visually from seeing other people do it. And so that just really, really inspired me. That's why I love the festivals. I love the congresses. I love the socials. It wasn't just the performances. It was like the whole environment, the whole, watching everybody do their thing and just not even talk, just connect through their bodies and just, be able to lead and follow, not like choreography, not like patterns that you learned in class, like actually like follow. And that's just so beautiful to me. So I think that was like,
how often do you train alone in your studio?
So I for sure stretch daily. That's like one of my things that I try to do. I do try to train 3 to 4 times a week as far as like my solos go or like my team routines go, because I am doing like some online challenges and stuff with the teams as well right now. So I'm trying to stay motivated with that. And so I at least try to do 3 to 4 times a week, but I am a full-time student as well. So that's why it's like have to balance the school life with, the dance life. And
what are you trying to study?
So I am finishing my bachelor's right now for business administration, concentration on management.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. In fact, you are in that world of business right now. All you need to do is to learn the ins and outs of it, you know, and
Yeah.
that's really great. So when it comes to your routine, when it comes to your practice, when it comes to your practicing alone, do you have to have certain goal? You're practicing because you're competing, or you're practicing just because you want to keep up with your techniques?
The second one. For sure, yeah. So I never try to, I mean, there's been moments, especially with the past collaborators that I've had, where we just aim to do like a competition or something. But for me, with my teams and my own choreographies, I actually try to stay consistent with them and just be ready.
Yeah,
Like, be ready for whatever performance pops up or anything. So I try to stay consistent with myself in that sense, because right now I technically don't have like that coach like Wayne, was on me of stuff
sure.
like that. So I definitely try to, keep myself motivated and keep myself dancing with those choreographies, and then just train and make my routines look a little bit better, feel better, and then once I get to that point where I'm like, okay, I really feel like I own this routine, then I'm like, okay, let's start performing it, let's start using it, let's, film it. In this case, we've been filming them outdoors because we haven't had a chance to really, perform it in front of an
Yeah,
audience. It's just still fine, but it's a little bit trickier to edit and to be the music editor, to be the film
yeah,
director, to be the costume maker, to be the everything, so it's a lot. But I definitely try to, like I said, keep myself up to date. And
yeah.
also, I've been taking some online classes. I've taken advantage that there's online classes from some instructors that are not local,
Mm,
and so I've been able to kind of also pick up a few new moves, new stuff, or in this case, kind of start from scratch. And like when I teach my basic classes, I work on my technique as well. I always make sure that my basics, my Cubans, my right turns, left turns, all of that is solid, so that when
yeah.
I'm teaching basic classes, my students see that every time that I do it, it's legit, and I'm not just being lazy and teaching them, because I've done it 1,000 times,
Hey, but that's kind of interesting, because when it comes to practicing, we're talking about repetitions here, repetitions of movements, repetitions of techniques. Don't you get bored? What or who motivates you?
I actually, that's funny. I don't get bored. I don't get
Mm,
bored. There's times where like I feel like, yeah, like I feel down. I'm like, oh, like what it is, what am I working towards right now? I get it. Like there's nothing on the books for the next few months ahead. We had like a whole year off
yeah,
basically. And so it was hard to kind of get myself up and say, like, get in the studio, come on, do something, at least put some music on and just dance for yourself,
sure,
and
sure.
so I've had sessions like that for myself. But I have had my moments when I do feel like that. I try to just take a breath and reset, whether it's like do something different. I picked up rollerblading during
That's
COVID.
good.
So I like started rollerblading on the side. I
Yeah,
started working on some costumes as well, like, kind of selling those on the side as well. And so I've kind of tried to keep myself interested in doing other things. And then I come back to dance and I go, okay, now this is what completes me. This is what really makes me feel great. And
yeah.
then when I'm like, okay, I'm ready to do this, I get back in the studio and it comes naturally. So
What makes your technique flawless, though? I mean, have you taken other dances like ballet or jazz or whatnot?
yeah, so I have taken introductory classes for ballet and for jazz. It's a completely different world for me, especially
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
once you really get into it. So I try to definitely be at least have the basics down for that and practice a little bit. That's why I do my stretching and I try to do my conditioning aside from my classes. But I actually used to take classes with John and Liz from Salsa
Mm,
Mania. And
mm,
it's really funny because back in the day when I first had met them, Wayne was the one that introduced me to them, of course. And we had auditioned for their team, and of course they had different levels. There was a semi-pro category back in the day.
yeah.
And Wayne was really mad because he didn't make it on the team. He's like, you're not going to their team because I didn't make it and I'm your teacher, and
he
they
would
should
he
pick
would
both
be
of
the
us.
type. He would definitely express it.
And he was like, and you're not going to join their team if I don't join. And so we didn't end up joining the team, but we still took classes, and I made sure like to go to like their workshops and their festivals. But John had a very, very nice discipline that I loved. And so I tried to, for sure, at least instill that in my dancing and try to
Yeah,
be like, okay, there has to be like an actual way breakdown of things. And and John was a really, really good mentor as well. Like on the side, I didn't get to really like work with him as much, but the few lessons that I have had and classes that I have had with him are amazing. And he's
How
just
strict? How strict is John on Liz? I'm
well,
curious.
well, I don't know. Liz is definitely a lot nicer, but it's like good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, John is a little bit stricter, and he's blunt. He's straight to the point. But that's good. You want to get your point across.
Absolutely, yeah.
Get stuff done quickly. So, but he's amazing. He's been a really good what is it called, advocate in the dance world for all of the years that I've been dancing, and even before that. So yeah.
So in the field of competition, in the field of performing, what are your memorable moments?
Ooh.
And who was it with? Ooh, okay.
Well, let's see. Gosh, definitely Wayne, because like that was the first time that I had ever like even been on stage. And
How
like,
did you feel on your first time performing on stage, by the way?
So this is funny because I had been dancing for 5 months. I walked into what used to be the Hot Salsa Fridays studio dance. What was it called?
Was it Spectrum? Was it Spectrum?
Spectrum? Yeah, Dance Spectrum.
Probably Spectrum.
I think it was. Yeah, where the apartments are now built.
Yeah.
Anyways, and so we would go to the classes, and I think it was Ricky that was teaching the salsa classes back then, and that was like my first salsa class. I remember walking in with like my high heel shoes, and it was just like some street shoes. There weren't even dance heels. And so anyways, I started going to those classes. What was the question again? I got lost. We're talking about HSF. What did you ask me about?
Ooh, what?
Oh, about performing.
Oh, performing,
so,
yeah.
So when Wayne had, started like training me, it had only been 5 months until he was like, hey, there's this US Open that Ricardo's doing. Let's sign up. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, let's do it. And so I think we only like performed once or twice before the actual competition. And it was because Wayne had a bar in Mountain View. It was called the King of Clubs. So we had performed there and just kind of got the kinks out. And then like we just showed up on stage, and I was like, wow, well, this is what it feels like. And it just felt weird because the lights are on you. It feels like there's like heat or energy, obviously the eyes are on you, and
hundreds of people looking at you. Yeah,
and it honestly like didn't really freak me out. It was more like okay, it's my turn, all right, so let's do this. And so I was so focused on dancing with Wayne that like I wasn't really like focused on like performing so much. Eventually I picked up on that, and I got a little bit better of like keeping eye contact with the audience members and really flirting with them. But at first it was more like oh wow, like this is really fun, let's just dance, and like, okay, who's next, and let's watch them. And it was just inspiring to me, like to be in a competition and see what everybody had worked on. So it wasn't really scary for me. So that's why I think it was really fun. That was with Wayne. You were the one who actually recommended us to go to the London championships, Rodchata World Championships with JC. That was back in October of like 2016, 2015, something like that.
You personally, whenever I bring people from the Bay to Europe, I'm always proud of you guys, because not because I'm putting down our UK friends when it comes to dancing and their advancement and whatnot. I'm just so proud, especially from the Bay, talent going to Europe and showcasing talents, because that's how I'm proud of the Bay. Because in my own opinion, the Bay Area dancers and the Bay Area talents are one of the best in the world. So I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, I can name people. I don't have to, because everybody knows. Yeah.
No, there's some amazing people from here. So yeah, that was a really great experience. And I remember like the environment being a little different there in the dance scene as well. But that was a really great competition, and it was a little scary because that was like definitely on a different level, and like it was all new for us. We had like built like a whole new routine for that, and they did some like, I think they did like a Jack and Jill like warm up with where we switched competitors, and that was really fun. I feel like more competitions should do that, because
they should do it, because we used to do that, right? I mean, they should do it more.
Yeah, and the social dancing aspect is also really important. Like, yeah, you can like perform and like do what you had been practicing for months, years, whatever. But like, what if I, partner you up with somebody that you've never met before, like social dance with them, like that should be really cool.
I think Zeke need to structurize that more when he does it at our festival, the Masters, Jack and Jill.
Oh.
That it's not just going to be fun, because it used to be where it's combination of 50% skills, 50% fun, right? Now it's 100 freaking
Yeah.
percent. It never fails. I have to tell you, it never fails, because it's on my birthday. You guys always injure me because I don't know what you guys do during the championship. I think, Zeke, if you're listening to this, let's refine that damn thing and let's do it again, maybe 2022.
Oh my
What's
God.
up with you? What's up with 2021? What's your plan?
2021. Okay, well, 2021 is my year where I'm devoting myself to school entirely. So I'm hoping to be able to graduate by the end of this year.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's my goal. It's 12 units that I have to get done between now and fall. So that's a
Only
lot of
12? Come on.
sorry, not 12 units, 12 classes. 12 classes. So that's a lot. And like each class is like 3 units. So it's definitely a big load on my plate, but that's why I'm kind of keeping dance on the weekends on the side, because that's what keeps me happy. That's what, keeps me connected to my dance team, to my dance family. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. I also have heard things about like festivals happening at the end of this year and quinceañeras, and
I mean,
I
yeah,
don't know.
I mean, I'm so doubtful, but I'm so hopeful at the same time that by summer, all of us are vaccinated, because that's really the key there. A
Yeah.
lot of people are afraid to get close to each other because they might get it. But I think that when you're vaccinated, uh, uh, at least your immune system is so strong that even the COVID will not be able to affect you. And then, of course, we there will be more technological medications that are going to be developed as we progress with, just like flu, as you know. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping I can do Hawaii, because if I do Hawaii, I mean, it would be such a perfect vacation from everyone, from it all, by October, everyone is vaccinated. Hey, Bay Area talents, I'm inviting you. Just come on, let's just party, damn it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, hopefully, like I said, hopefully, people are able to be eligible for the vaccine by then. So hopefully sooner than later. And we'll see what the future is. But I know it is going to also take a while for people to get used to how things were with festivals, and like just getting used to being in large crowds and all of that. Like I'm excited to obviously see some progress and to get to that point, but I know it's going to take a while. So
Well, I mean, California, you guys are having more people vaccinated now, whereas here in Nevada, it's 55 and older are getting vaccinated now. I'm just missing it by 1 year, but you guys in the Bay Area, even below 55 are being vaccinated, which is a good sign.
yeah. Yeah.
I was talking to Isidra the other day if she's gonna do SFIBF. If she ever does one this year, it would be a mini weekend type of thing, because I don't think that we're ready for a big festival in San Francisco. Maybe not until 2022, but I think we will be ready by the end of the year, of this year, for a Hawaii thing, just for a get together, maybe a beach party or something like that. But we'll see. I mean, flights are so cheap right now, to be honest with you, like $370 one trip. Come on, Um, but Helen, I like the idea that you are pursuing something as a backup plan from dancing, because many of our dancers does not do that or do not have that. That's a great plan, because I would have never thought that our industry will close down. You see, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah.
Now, if and guess what? Now, if you didn't have a second career, if you didn't have a backup plan, when a pandemic like this happens for like more than a year, are you kidding me? Then you get to that backup plan, and I like that idea. Business is so smart. Business administration is a smart way to do it, especially when you are in this industry. Is that your passion, to be an entrepreneur, maybe?
Yeah, actually, so I grew up working in my mom's janitorial company, which is actually her office. Like I said, I was probably like, I'm not supposed to say this, but like 8, 9 years old, and I was, like behind her in the
Yeah.
desk, like, what are you doing, Mom? I mean, I was like so curious, and I would go to meetings with her. She would have like mixers and stuff at the Chamber of Commerce, and I would
Yeah.
go with her, and dressed up in my little business attire, and it just like was always drawn to me. I really, really love business. I love the way that the etiquette was. I love the way that, you know, everything worked. And so when I got into school for it, I was like, oh no, this is definitely what I want to do. And so once I narrowed it down to the whole management, then I was like, okay, you know, I can probably connect this to the dance studio. And then again, that's when I was like, oh, COVID happened. And so you think, oh, you know, like maybe, you know, I could take this degree and work on something else, you know, but maybe the dance will come back. I don't know. Like, I feel like in the end, maybe in the next decade, there will probably be a similar flu coming up like COVID. And, you know, we'll probably have to go through this again and wait till the vaccine comes out. And, you know, I feel like in the end, we might end up coming back because there's a way that things happen. You know, everything happens for a reason. It was a nice break. It really was a nice break from the crazy world, because I didn't realize how I was working myself so much. I was doing school, I was doing classes, I was doing practices, my own stuff. I was working, I was doing so much. I barely had time to sleep and eat. You know, we had performances so late night, we had festivals, I mean, traveling. My life was nonstop. I felt like I wasn't even working on myself. Like I was just like on autopilot.
Yeah.
So it was a nice break to kind of, you know, sit back, grind myself and realize like, oh wow, we really have to take care of our health. We have to take care of, you know, like our loved ones and our relationships and our mental health and everything. And so I definitely like, I hope that we are able to get back into the same rhythm with the dance world, because I miss it.
I know it's you know, also I know you work with Andrew, who is also a Gemini. Can Gemini work with each other, you know, flawlessly?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Yeah.
I'm just curious because I'm into the science, you know.
We were just talking the other day on the phone, and he was telling me how it was so funny because I was like one of the easiest people to work with him, like as far as the partnership went. Like we really worked well. I mean, I don't think we ever had like an issue, and like we were very good communicating. So I think that really helped us out, and there was nothing that like we really like butted heads with, and like, you know,
I
it
mean,
was
that's a
really
great
nice.
thing when you're partnering with someone, especially in the dance scene, right? You had to get each other, because if you don't, I mean, it'd be too tough, man. Because the other one is bitter, the other one is just probably doesn't have any clue what's going on. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, because it
It's
boils
like a
down
whole
to
nother
that.
relationship, you know.
Oh my
One
God,
that
yeah. Oh yeah. So, do you have any significant other now, or you
I
single, or?
do. I
Okay,
do.
good. And now you have a dance team, right? Or you used to, or are you still doing it with them?
Yeah, so we moved to the online platform ever since COVID, just to be safe. We have been able to do like a few outdoor practices and like film outdoor videos, but everything that we do as far as practice-wise goes online. So we are just trying to kind of do these challenges where they're a little bit shorter, like 4 or 5 week challenges, so
Sure.
that we're not thinking so much about like a season, which was like, you know, 3 months or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that again, like in the summer or like maybe even next year, once everyone's vaccinated and everybody feels better, I'll be able to start the teams again and start the, you know, the seasons again. But I have some cool routines that we put together throughout the COVID that I actually want to perform at some of the festivals. So
Good.
and they're all, you know, footwork shine, so there's no issues about partner work yet, and I think that would be really fun. So
I really think by summer, the dance teams in the Bay or everywhere really are going to start practicing again. Like I said, I mean, they're predicting by May everyone will be vaccinated. I'd say by June, realistically, everyone will be vaccinated by then, and you would see the percentage of people testing positive going down. You know, here in Washoe County in Nevada, it's been going down steadily. And so I'm just waiting for an appointment for a vaccine pretty much. I mean, I don't do vaccines. I've only done it once when I had measles, and I think I was 13 years old. Never did ever, not even flu could affect me, but for the sake of protecting other people, I'll do it, you know. Have you had vaccine yet? No.
No, I haven't. I'm hoping to be eligible soon. I'm just waiting. But yeah, like you said, I think the was it Governor Newsom said that by the end of April, I think he said that everybody 16 or older should be eligible. So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. So now, when it comes to beginner student, Helen, as a teacher, let's say they have two left feet. Is there hope?
Of course. As long as they want to learn, that's really important
It's
because
yeah,
you
whatever
can't
their
teach
desire
somebody
is.
that doesn't want to. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, but there is hope. I feel like that's everybody's scapegoat. Everybody goes, "Well, I have two left feet. Well, I tried or whatever." Like there's things that you can learn. Like you just have to practice and you have to let it become muscle memory, but it has to be consistent. It can't just be like, "Oh, I went to one class, then I went to a social, and now I do
yeah.
social." Like
Well, I've
no,
seen
doesn't
you
work like
teach. Your
that.
personality. I've seen you teach. Your personality is totally different from talking to you, and it's totally different from your teaching. Are you pretty much strict when it comes to teaching?
I have the RBF, resting bitch face. So yeah, I try to really smile and I'm not very funny, so I try to like set some jokes up here and there. But
Yeah,
I definitely just try to get my point across because in an hour, like an hour class, you aren't able to get everything that you want across. But it's definitely hard for me to not be super strict and also to not be super lenient, because I want them to look good. I want them to feel good, and I don't want them to be like, oh yeah, I totally got this down, and then they're like all sickled or like their
yeah.
weight change isn't there or they can't count music, like all of that is super important. So yeah.
Now, owning a studio in the South Bay, how's the business like in owning a studio like that?
Well, right now obviously it's been all on
Of
pause,
course,
it's been
yeah,
on hold, but I definitely love it because I can come in and practice whenever I
sure,
want, whenever I have the urge, right? But I also love that it lets me take control of like not only the environment, but making sure that it's safe, it's welcoming, that people don't feel intimidated. I know like going to your first dance class is really like intimidating, or like maybe even just joining your first dance team is like, oh, like I don't want to be that flashy, like you have to take it easy with each person is each student is different and is needed to be taught differently. So I like to really be able to connect with my students and make sure that like they know that this is a second home for them. It's not just like it is a business obviously, but like I feel like all of my students have really felt that connection with me. And so a lot of the other teachers here, like also we want to make sure that they feel that they're growing with us, that they're not just coming to a dance class and like, okay, bye, like see you whenever. It's like we want you to feel motivated and dedicated to come back and to make this a hobby or make this like something that is not only going to help you physically and mentally, but is going to help you grow as a person and maybe be more
yeah.
confident, walk a little taller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your how did you start dancing? Was it because of your mom or someone else?
Yeah, so actually way before, it was because of my quinceañera. Way before my quinceañera, my mom put us in modeling like play classes and acting
Yeah,
classes, and they wanted us to have like a talent on the side. So she asked Wayne. Wayne and my mom were skating partners back in the day, and so like that's how they knew each other. He was basically like my uncle.
yeah,
And so she asked him to like teach me how to dance, and so he started teaching me some cumbia and just some basic stuff, but I never really took up on it until my quince came around, and then I was like 13, 14 years old, and I was like, well, I need to be able to dance by my party. So then that's when he
yeah.
started taking me to classes. So the quinceañera was the reason that I started dancing, but I actually really loved it because my mom would always take me to family parties or whatever, and she was a real dancer. So I would see my
Yeah.
mom dance and I was like, I want to do what she's doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much that's great. And now, given in the best case scenario this year, would you announce a team audition again?
Honestly, I feel like everything changes from a span of a week to a month. Like
That's
there's
true. That's
so
true.
I feel like until I get a confirmed for sure, like we are open, people are vaccinated, people are ready to go, then I
Yeah,
would maybe like at the end of the year do something like that.
yeah,
But I mean, I also kind of like the idea of keeping the outdoor classes as long as the weather stays nice. Like I'm gonna keep doing this stuff outdoors. We're socially distanced. Like nobody has any issues. People wear masks. There's no partner work. And, that's doing it for now. So we're gonna keep doing that, and then hopefully we'll be able to do auditions soon for some teams.
Okay, Helen, I'm gonna get into a rapid round here. You say one word of
Okay.
the person I'm going to mention. Okay, you say
One.
one word. Okay,
Okay.
Zeke.
Rubalcaba or Rhinestones.
Andrew Cervantes.
Diva.
Of course. Of course. JC, your former partner.
It's gonna be funny. Follow the star. He'll know what that means.
Follow the stars. He's into horses nowadays. I don't know. He's got like lovely horses there, man.
Yeah, he lives on a farm. Of course, he has so many animals.
John Narvaez.
Dedication.
Grizzly.
MIA.
MIA, where the hell is Grizzly? Here's another one. Here's another one. Francisco Jr. Where the hell is he? And of course, Wayne.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can this be a sentence? Do what you love and love what you do.
That's just, I mean, he redefined my very definition of passion when I went, that guy. I'll never forget that guy because he has always supported my events, as you know. But the Bay Area scene, what is your favorite festival besides San Francisco Festival, of course? But what's your favorite festival and why? That is.
Gosh. See, the thing is, I feel like every festival kind of goes through its phases. You know, like you have like this festival that started off in a year, 2 years, 3 years, and they're still growing and still have potential. Then you have those festivals that have been around for years and they've kind of already been there. So I feel like the Reno festivals, I remember the first one that I went to was, I believe, the one where you and BB had that together. And then the year
probably
after,
2011 or something, or 20,
yes,
probably 2011.
Yes, because that was the year that I had my quinceañera. And then after, that's when we started going, and that's when there was two. And I remember going and staying for a week there and able to go to both. And so
that was, oh man, that was fucking insane. That was so much drama.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of people ended up doing that. A lot of people ended up wanting to go to both, so they just did that. You know, like people wanted to support both. But yeah, I think the Reno ones for sure are like my favorites, just because I feel like they've been established the most. The LA ones, they have so many. Like they have so many, and obviously they're all different promoters and stuff, but they have their own like feel. They have their own clique, their own
different vibe.
Yeah. So I feel like I would stick more like to like the North Bay, like San Francisco for sure, and then like Reno. What else have we done?
I think that Reno and San Francisco will always be that in that history of uniqueness. Whether it's BB's festival now, which I applaud him for following his vision. Because he had a different vision than mine years ago, and he followed that vision. I think it is one of the largest event now in January. I mean, for winter in Reno, are you kidding me? If you can have 3,000, 4,000 people, that's you know, I have to congratulate him. Whether we have differences or not, I gotta congratulate him. And of course, I'm trying to do one on summer, which I don't know the future of Reno Dance Expo, to be honest with you, because Helen, there are so many festivals. Every week there is one. You know, I mean, how are you going to be able to survive as a promoter?
Yeah, and there's so many more popping up too. And I think before, I think, was it like 2 years ago? It was the LA Congress in May. That was like also one of my favorite ones with Albert Torres, just because they always had really good socials and workshops and obviously the shows.
Yeah.
It was a lot to have like afternoon shows and evening shows. So that is a lot, but like it was a really good. Oh, I think the Vegas also is a really good one.
I think Vegas by Nate, right?
Yes.
The pool party of that thing is unique, you know.
Everybody talks about that when they think about Vegas. They think about that pool party. Yeah.
Not everybody knows this, but Nate always tells me that, you know, I don't make money from all of this. He would admit, I don't make money. I just want everybody to have fun, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his lineup, you know, the pool party, that is rented, girl. That is rented for like days, and that's a lot of money.
Yeah, wow.
By itself.
I mean, it's fun. It's Vegas, of course, but That's
But
another fun one.
I mean, Vegas, Albert Torres has always been good with his
Oh yeah.
events, even the championship. As you remember, I judged it 2 years in a row. I judged there, and from time to time, Albert and I would text each other as far as, he would ask me things, artists about bachateros and all that. I think that one thing I love about him is that he respected me, at least in that area. He would ask for my advice. And same thing with David Melendez back in the day, or even Choco in New York Salsa Congress back in the day. But just it has our industry, whether it's salsa, and salsa has always been consistent there, but bachata, uh, I mean, we have grown a lot. The industry have grown a lot. If you look at Instagram now and social media, TikTok, whatever, what have you, you will see new artists, or you would see veterans that are from other countries that you haven't seen, which I appreciate a lot. There's some crazy stuff there on Instagram too, I have to admit, but
Well,
I
yeah,
just
it's
I
social
just
media.
recently got into it, really. Uh, I didn't know I have like over 1,000 followers, and then when I started posting
Oh
pictures,
wow.
yeah, when I started posting pictures now, I have like 3K or something. I was like, okay, who are these people?
Oh wow. Look at
But
you.
are you active on social media? Yeah.
I am, yes, I do. I have a page for my Hermosura dance, and then I have my personal page, which is Salsera
Okay,
15,
hold
and
on,
then
hold on. Slow
oh,
that down. What's your dance team name? Slow it down.
Hermosura dance. I can spell it out for you.
I could
HERMOSURA.
never pronounce it. I could never pronounce it. But
Okay.
and then you're on Instagram as yourself, right?
Yes, and then Salsera 15, SALSERA 15. And I know people are like, oh, well, why you just only done salsa? And I'm like, no, that's salsa always has my heart. That's what I started with.
Yeah.
So I just like to leave my username what it's been for years. But yeah, that's
Now,
my,
do you have a website?
yes, I do. So www.hermosuradance.com.
That name again, okay.
HERMOSURA dance.com.
And they can contact you if they need some instructions, coaching, private lessons, blah, 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 you
Of
name
course,
it, right?
yes. We're on YouTube, on Facebook, on Yelp. You can look me up through Cache Dance as well. This is my home studio, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys, besides Andrew, do you chat with other artists that we used to hang out with before the pandemic?
Ooh, it's funny, like not really from before. Like after COVID, that's when I think I started like actually reaching out and talking to a lot more
Yeah,
artists, like
yeah.
personally, as opposed to just like, hey, see you at the festival this weekend, or hey, it was nice to see you at this workshop, you know? But I'm trying to think. I guess, well, Edwin Valtierra, but he's from Coachella Valley, Palm Springs, like
Right,
down south.
right.
Who else? I'm trying to think. A lot of people also kind of went into their like cocoons and just kind of fell off the face of the earth or kind of
I
did their
think they're
own
probably just
thing.
spending time with themselves or whatever. It's
Yeah, yeah,
this pandemic has taught each one of us a lot of things and made us look back and what's more important, I think, and what are the things to come. And I think that's the most important thing. So in a sense, besides the unemployment and all of the loss, financial loss that we had because we had to close down our business, it's sort of a blessing in disguise, I would say, about ourselves, about other people, about our friends. And I think that hopefully our industry will change for the better when everything else is okay. You know, uh,
yeah.
Politics aside, I hope that we can all work together. We can all promote each other. No drama, God, drama. You can never remove drama, but make
You
it a good
can't.
drama, not a disaster drama. Jeez, I
Yeah.
mean, whatever. But anyways, it's great talking to you. It's been a while, I know. I mean, I do miss San Francisco Bachata Festival, to be honest with you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have time, come to Hawaii, October 29th through October 1st, which is the Halloween weekend. And if you've never heard of this before, in Honolulu, Waikiki, in that strip, Halloween is like San Francisco in a better way. in, in a better way, because I mean, lately in San Francisco, there was some violence or something, before.
Oh,
I don't know if that's still happening, but for sure, Hawaii's happening this year. One thing I like about Hawaii is that before you can fly, because Isidro was just there a week ago, okay? Before you can fly, you have to provide 72 hours before flying at the airport a negative test for COVID. So they're very strict, I should say. So when you go to Hawaii, you have that to look forward to besides being vaccinated and whatnot. What else? What else is new with you? That's it? Besides studying and hopefully finishing this year, right?
yes, hopefully finishing this year. I definitely am continuing with the dance teams. Like I said, that's something that
Good.
I like to, even though it's online and a mixture of like outdoor, like I still think that's something that is keeping my students like motivated to,
Yeah.
stay connected, whether it's that or like taking a few like classes, dropping in online, whatever like it is that you guys want to do it, whether it's taking up a new hobby, do it, but like don't sit around and be like, oh well, I'm just gonna wait till the world comes back to normal, because that's gonna be a long time from now. So
Yeah.
might as well do what you love now, and like, you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, so live your
I
life to the
agree.
fullest every day, like do what you love every day.
Well, Helen, I'd like to thank you for always supporting my events.
Of
Even
course.
my my sub events, meaning the little events that I have. Hey, Helen, can you teach here? It's like, sure,
For sure, yes,
I
at the
like,
beat, yes.
yeah, I'd like to thank you for the support, and let's hope that we'll see each other again, hopefully this year and maybe next year for the festival. Okay.
Of course, thank you
Thanks
so
for the
much, Lenny.
time.
It was really nice talking to you.
Bye for
All
now.
right, bye.